My name is Austin Lacy. I'm a global technology advisor at C3, and I helped a client who was going under an acquisition, parent company and some of the children brands, consolidate their contact center technology into a single platform.
Tell us about the company and the merger that you were a consultant for.
Yeah, so large healthcare organization, national reach, clinics and operations in all 50 states, and they came together via merger and acquisition. Lots of similar companies being put under one parent company, and each of those companies came with their own people, their own way of doing things, their own back-end technologies, and then ultimately their own contact center platforms that each of them had procured on their own and brought individual contracts to the table under this new entity.
What was your process for understanding the business need?
So we went within each of the business units, the work groups, individual queues within the contact center, and held focus groups with each of those individual companies to understand how they're using the technology today, right? What does that day in the life of the agent look like? What's the experience of a supervisor on a daily basis? And then what back-end technologies does their existing contact center platform communicate on a regular basis? How does that communicate with the business enterprise telephony? And ultimately create this snapshot of what's going on in the current state, and then what's it look like in that future state. So doing that with each of the individual, what were standalone companies, and doing that in an aggregate and a holistic way, we were able to create a compilation of business requirements for the overall project, and that helped us make the recommendation on which technology it made the most sense to standardize on moving forward.
What consulting expertise did C3 provide?
They could have closed their eyes and picked, or they could kind of rely on our expertise of what we're seeing in the marketplace of customers of similar size, a similar scale, ultimately help us kind of articulate where the market rate should be for those solutions given their increase in volume with the licenses. They grew their agreement with the ultimate selected vendor from a certain amount to a much larger amount. So with that new amount, what tier of pricing should that fall in? Unless you've done that every day like we do, you have no idea where those numbers should fall. So things like that, flexible terms in the contract that could be assisted and negotiated on and value added there. And then just the information and analysis or knowledge we have from our clients going through it with both of those vendors in terms of day two support. Every solution kind of sounds great in a sales process or if the customer's happy. So what have we heard from our customers? What have we heard from our industry sources? What does that day two support look like? We helped guide the client through that process and ultimately provided them with additional insights into terms and things like that in the contract that they may have been able to take advantage of.
Well, thanks, Austin.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.